Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to FOBtv, the future of business. Here we explore the forces shaping tomorrow. I'm your host, Kevin Benedict. I'm a futurist and lecturer here at TCS. And again, thank you for joining the program today. Now, today we're going to explore how our youth perceive the future. And I was looking through this, and I've never focused on this topic before, but it's one that I'm passionate about. And to help us better understand this, we've asked futurist Aino Piispanen to join us. Aino, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kevin, and very well pronounced my name.
Yeah, I'm trying. So where are you calling in today, Aino?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm calling from Finland, from the capital of Finland, Helsinki.
Well, very good. Is it snowing yet?
No, sadly, no. It's quite like raining. It's also almost like autumn still, but I have the Christmas feeling at my heart, so it's all good.
All right, that's awesome. So for those of you out there that are listening to the program that haven't been able to meet Aino yet, Aino, let me just ask, tell us a little bit about your career and a little bit about your journey as a futurist.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to tell that. Well, I'm a futures designer, and I work as a project manager at Future School at Children's and Youth Foundation. And yeah, I'm a futurist, but also a futures designer because I put together the Foresight methods with the very creative methods, participatory methods that I find really, really important using with Foresight. And I like to emphasize also the creative methods at my work. And from my past, maybe I would tell I worked with both organizational foresight and the development of individual futures consciousness, and worked with developing educational organizations' foresight capacity. That's something I find really important because, well, the world is changing so rapidly. We have to also think with educational needs. How do we maybe create organizations that can, well, have an answer to those needs? Yeah, thanks.
I have never had a person on my program here that is teaching foresight to children. So this is very interesting to me because, I mean, children are just kind of looking at their life for the first time as youth, and now you're helping them already look even beyond that.
Yeah.
So why do you think that's important? Tell us a little bit about this Hopeful Future project.
Yeah. Well, as I told you, I work at the Future School, and we have many projects, and we have lots of work with children and young people when we develop their foresight capacity. But maybe in this Hopeful Future project, I would like to tell that we do this kind of coaching model with municipalities of Finland. 3 municipalities are developing with us this kind of coaching method. We can help young people who don't have any work, any studies at the moment, and they are not in any service of the whole society. They really need help with their own future. And we are now working with the municipalities to develop this kind of a coaching model that the young people, with the help of foresight methods, can better understand their own ways on coming towards their own goals and also take a part of the society better. So at the Hopeful Future project, we're really combining the coaching methods, coaching the studies or to the education and to working life to the future studies methods. And that's something really interesting.
Wow. So this is a different perspective than I was anticipating our discussion.
Yeah.
So you're helping individual youth look at their own future.
Yeah, look at their own future and also the society with new eyes. Maybe before we have been thinking like, there's some kind of jobs, some kind of different kind of fields of job I could peek into. But now we're combining the foresight methods or the futures thinking methods to the career coaching, and we're helping like you to grasp some kind of, so that you could really understand what's happening in the world. Where is this world coming? Where is our society going to? And then you can maybe see that, okay, here's this problem. We have problems with maybe environmental issues or some safety issues, but I see that as a problem, but I see I could maybe be a part of the solution too. We help young people, the youth, to be an active part in their own future, but also in the societal future.
I love that. Because a lot of youth have no tools to think through that. Now, as a futures, you and I can even look at the data, look at studies, look at trends, we call them possibility chains of how the world is kind of unrolling in front of us. And we can say that's probably not a good career move, because that is a repetitious kind of work that will be very easy for AI to just do. So the opportunity for a youth is probably small in that area. But we can see all kinds of other areas where there's big opportunities. And if we could help guide the youth to really focus on some of those bigger areas of opportunity, that's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, there must be a goal. There must be a problem that you're trying to solve.
Yeah.
What is that problem you're trying to solve?
Okay, so the young people, we have been now researching a lot of young people's relationship to future. And in this year, 2025, we have recognized that it's something that has gone a bit worse, the belief to a better future or the belief to future. And we think we have to give the young people some tools so that they could have a more hopeful future and they could feel like they have an active part in the future. And now the researches and the reports tell that there's something lacking there, and we're trying to give the tools to young people so that they can really grasp the hopeful futures.
So that's brilliant. I'm so happy you guys are doing that. Recently, I read one of your articles, and in that article, you write that young people's belief in the future is at its weakest level ever recorded. What do you think young people are actually losing? Is it hope, trust, agency, or something deeper?
Well, that's a very good question. I think all of that. It's the future's belief to the future is like a mosaic type of collection of those all things you just said. And it's not just about the hope or the optimistic thinking about the future. It's more like you can think that the future will be full of hopeful things, or it can be intimidating. It can be a bit scary too. But if you have a feeling you can have an active part in the future, you can really affect to the future phenomenons. How are they going to happen, or where are they going to? That can really make you feel you have some belief to the future. So it's a big question. We're trying to maybe have more research here in Finland to that area so we can understand it better. But also we have noticed that a very, very important thing is that you have some support so that you can feel that you can act on the better future.
So why do you think the sentiment is going down, the sentiment toward hope in the future? What's the reason for that? And the reason I asked, let me put it in special context. Finland, as we know, is ranked the happiest or most content country in the world, something like 8 straight years. And even before then, they were in the top 5. So you guys long-term are one of the happiest places. I just love the fact that you're studying, though, how to get even better at that. And when you see it start to go down, you guys jump on it. And folks, okay, it's going down. Why? Let's try to fix it. That's brilliant. Yeah. Here in the United States, we just start bickering and fighting and accomplish nothing.
Yeah, that's a good thing and good question. It's always hard for us Finns to read like we're the happiest country, because we feel like, are we really? Can we be? Because we don't smile that much. Maybe I smile a lot, but every Finn doesn't. But yeah, and the research and the reports this year have really shown that the youth's belief to the future is like the thing that has gone mostly down. The people who are 65-year-old and more up, they have a really strong, not as really strong, but like a stronger belief in the future. And maybe the young people can also learn something about that from the over generation beliefs of the future. But you asked that what are maybe the reasons behind so I think a lot has happened maybe these few years. Corona, the safety, or the COVID, we say corona in Finland, but COVID, and then the safety environment in Europe has changed now, and also the massive technological change we're all the time experiencing and don't know the direction so well. There's a lot of potential and opportunities, but also a lot of things that are maybe intimidating because they are new things. So a lot of phenomena that are going forward, and so those are maybe some reasons for the downgoing feeling of the futures belief. But why is it happening now, and why with young people? I have discussed a lot about that we older people and the people who are now in power always have said to the younger people that we are going to leave the country for you as a better place. But now, can they say that? Because there has been so many changes, like the environment of the security environment has changed to a worse direction. So there's something that is not working in the promise of always giving a better society to the future generations. So that's something, maybe some kind of a reason.
So the geopolitical considerations, the military security situation, sharing borders with not always kind neighbors, all of those things, are they headlines a lot in the news in Finland?
There are headlines in the media, and also the media, of course. And the media has a responsibility, and also we as adults have a responsibility on how we discuss those topics. Maybe one reason is that we adults are a bit scared too, or don't know what to think about this geopolitical environment now. So when we talk about it's very a concerned talk, like we're concerned, and adult concern talk also has an effect to young people and makes them more concerned. Okay. So the media has a responsibility, but we as adults have the responsibility to not give a too dark image to the young people, to also give some opportunities and possibilities.
So Aino, let me ask the question: how important is the idea of actually building hope as a resource among a community? Will having greater amount of hope in the possibility of a better future, will that manifest itself into better outcomes? Or if people have a lack of hope, does that manifest itself into fewer opportunities? What do you think?
What do I think? Well, I think hope has a big possibility in giving also power for a person or a community to grasp the better futures. But I think that's only just one thing. You can be concerned, but you have to have the community by your side. You have to have people working with you and have the active attitude and the possibilities to work in what you believe. So I think the feeling of being an active part of the futures is as important as.
So that they have the ability to implement change. They have the power to do something about it.
Yeah.
I always think about this hope, though, as such a powerful tool that if you lack hope, you don't even try. You lack sisus, or the resilience.
Well, they have like they work together. I think so too, but we don't maybe still have to think that if you don't have hope now, but if you have like some kind of a feeling of an active part, the hope will come then. The hope doesn't have to be in the beginning. You can also start with just like a fear and uneasy feeling. But if you have people with you doing, like maybe you, for an example, people who are young people coming together, feeling that the environmental issues are very important. We have to grasp it now. We have to do things. They can have futures belief because they are so actively working on better environmental ways of living and making the futures. They can have futures believe, though they are not so hopeful in this moment of how are we acting now.
Got it. So you also describe a widening gap between what young people hope for and what they think they're likely to receive. What do you think the reasons are for that?
Yeah, well, that's something we have noticed in the reports and researches in Finland in this year, that young people are really hoping for quite basic things, or things we have maybe thought basic when we have been young, like seeking for the career you like. Maybe when you're a bit older, you can have a family and owning a house and having some hobbies and like this. And now it feels that those are the hopes, the main hopes young people have nowadays too, but they are somehow intimidated or scared that can I even have a basic job, like a full-time job, because I don't know what is going to happen in the working environment, in working life. There's so many big questions now in air, and that's why I think it's very important that we help young people to think about the futures, to talk about the fears and the things they have question marks about. And then when you talk about it together, you see that, other people also fear the same things, and these things can also be possibilities. They aren't threats. They are possibilities too, for myself too, and start thinking about more hopefully about the future.
So what role does social media have in creating or increasing the positive sentiment in a community, or diminishing positive and hopeful sentiment in a community? Do you see an impact there?
Yeah, of course. And social media has such a big role in what kind of topics are at the top lines all the time. And because people are always clicking on the news that are talking about fearful things. And I think the most important thing here is like, if a person as an adult or a young person can affect what you see in the media, maybe you can try to see also the good signals that the media can give. We have some kind of newspapers or some kind of medias that are really trying to give good news to counterpart of the bad news we're getting all the time. So focusing on also the good media is like a good choice to make in your life.
Now, I read recently that Finland is very focused on digital literacy.
Yeah.
Really trying to help the youth understand what truth is, how to see fake information, how to recognize even propaganda campaigns that might be targeted at them and the community. Tell us about that in Finland.
Yeah, well, that's something we have really recognized as an important competence, and it's very highly taught at schools and all the stages of education. People are learning about the media, those kind of things, and I think we Finnish people are quite good in it. This weekend or last weekend, I was with my godson, and I said he had an exam for religion, and I said that you could from internet also seek some new things, and he was like, I don't know, what would I, because there can be some false news. I have to really think, where am I going to seek those things? Yes. So that was the first thing in his mind, and I was like, good boy.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, because we can see those campaigns everywhere here in the States and everywhere else. And I mean, that has an impact on all of us. If all we read is the same headline over and over and over again, is bound to influence our perspective on the future. So let's switch our topic a little bit to loneliness and the loneliness crisis. Talk to us about that. How does isolation distort a young person's ability to imagine a positive possibility and possible future?
Yeah. Well, that's something I think that, futures thinking is something is best done with people, and you get new perspectives when you are with people. When you discuss, you have a dialogue with somebody, you get new perspectives and maybe have a more like a bigger and longer horizon of futures. So when you're alone, you feel alone and are alone. Of course, it narrows and shortens your futures horizon. So it's also a lot harder to think about the hopeful futures. So this is something we have to take seriously and think about how are we dealing with the person's loneliness, whether you're youth or you're older. Everybody should have people to discuss the world with. So that's the only way we can maybe go further than when you have more perspectives.
I've had the privilege of visiting Finland several times.
Yeah. Right.
And each time my wife and I spend an evening in the library, the big library in downtown. We play chess. We, just watch the children. It's like your living room for the community. Everybody can come there. What role does those community centers like that play in helping manage isolation and loneliness?
Yeah, well, of course, they have a very strong purpose, I think. And Audi, you're referring to, Audi is the community library here is a fantastic place. I think we should have those in every municipalities, and we have like a wide, beautiful range of libraries, but like how are they implemented in getting people together? There's some variety, but I think we're quite good in that, and that's something you can really use when you have young people maybe who have dropped out of school. They are not actively at work now. Where do you seek those young people? Well, those are good places, the municipality, like the centers or some libraries that are really easy to go to, and then they can be the first place you have a discussion with an adult and get to rely, and you get a connection with an adult, and maybe that's where it all starts. Come to the coaching and start thinking about your future a bit further. So yeah, we really should have those kind of low-key places to go to and get together and talk.
I love it. So you also advocate upholding fundamental social rights as a prerequisite for hope. Tell us your thinking there.
Well, I think it all starts with when you think about child poverty or families that are in such a poor economical state that they need to think, can we afford to buy Christmas dinner, or can we afford to maybe go to a hobby or have our children go to a hobby? Then you can't expect them to really think so further in the future. It always narrows your perspective. It narrows your future's horizon. So I think that's the basic line we need to start, that everybody has some kind of basic needs fulfilled in every country, and then you can start thinking about your other futures.
Maslow's
hierarchy,
right?
Yeah.
You can't think beyond your stomach and your hunger, but once you solve your hunger, then you can see a little bit further, right?
Yeah, just like that. When you interview somebody who has been at war and maybe is a refugee now, war refugee, and if you have to still think that, well, I don't have shoes now and I want my kids to go to like a healthcare center, you can't really think what's the next month's goal. Right. You are just there. So, yeah.
So what do economic and social safety nets, how do they impact hope? You guys are well recognized in Finland as having a very strong social and economic safety net. How does that impact somebody's hope?
Yeah. Well, from my personal perspective, maybe I have to say, yeah, we have this thing good in Finland, but we could have it better. And maybe this few years situation hasn't been the best. Our economical situation in Finland is now not at its best. So we are seeing the effects already. If we think our future school report from Finnish youth's relationship to their futures, we just launched this report, and there you could see that the things the young people are most concerned is the geopolitical situation or the safety situation. But then afterwards the first thing was that do they have money in the future, or are they going to be thinking about how to cope with the economical situation? So that's something that really concerns young people, and it's a very, very important topic to discuss here at our society.
So you've also seen firsthand the emotional impact when young people engage with future thinking. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, that's something with young people, and also as an adult, it's amazing when you get together, get to talk about the concerns about the future and the hopes about the future. You start seeing a light bulb in young people's heads, and also like older people's head, like, wow, is this something I can discuss but maybe have an effect on, or I can also be an active part on molding the future. That's the most inspiring thing about my work, when you get people to figure that out, that I can have an effect.
I love it. Thank you for doing that kind of work.
Course.
So if you could give every young person one sentence to carry with them for the next decade, what would it be, and why that sentence?
Yeah, well, this is something I really have to learn something from a wiser people. Mahatma Gandhi has said, you have to be the change you want to see in the world. I would add that you have to get together with people and then together make the changes you want to see in the world. That get together and be active. That's something I want to say.
And get together in a sauna.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also, yeah. And I have to add, when you said sauna, I love embodied futures. When you use creative methods, you can also use your body as an instrument to think about the future. So sauna can be one thing to maybe activate your body to the process. Who knows?
I love it. Aino, thank you so much for sharing your dedication, your work, your focus, your goals in Finland there for working with youth and helping them be able to stretch the horizons and to be able to see a better future for themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin, and have a nice waiting of Christmas.